And showtime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Channel Pro 5-Minute Roundup. Look at news, trends, and tips for the SMB channel in 5 minutes or thereabouts. My name is Rich Freeman. I am executive editor of the Channel Pro Network, also a co-host of the program. I am joined this week, as I am every week, by your other co-host, Eric Simpson, a business transformation and improvement advisor to MSPs and other IT providers. Eric, how goes it?
It goes well here at home base at Shea Simpson in Southern California, Rich, but looks like your background has changed.
Yes, indeed. Those of you watching on video here can see that once again, I am broadcasting from a hotel room. This is not something I'm doing for the first time. And yeah, I am out in Chicago, or Schaumburg, Illinois, to be precise, near Chicago, where tomorrow, actually, officially, it's underway right now. Channel Pro is doing its latest SMB forum event, but the main content day is tomorrow, May 5th, and looking forward to it, Eric.
Yes, another tremendous event from the good folks at Channel Pro Network. Yeah, they're awesome, awesome events. If you haven't had the opportunity to attend, I highly recommend it. It's unique in the way it's delivered, it's engaging, and attendees always walk away with tons and tons of value.
So I did not ask Eric to say that, ladies and gentlemen, but the check is in the mail, buddy. I appreciate that very much. If you are curious about these events, because we do 6 of them in various parts of the country across the year, and we've got events coming up in Dallas at the beginning of June, and we're going to be in Charlotte and the Washington, D.C. area, Southern California. You can actually learn more about our events, all of our events, including the virtual ones, at events.channelpronetwork.com. But Eric, let us plunge into our top story this week. And I'll set it up just a little bit this way by saying, if you are an MSP who's maybe concerned a little bit about how secure the managed services tools you use these days are, how tempting might it be to replace one or more of those tools with something that was created by a security vendor? So keep that in mind, because what we're going to be talking about here is a product that officially launched today as we record this, Eric. It's from a company called Keeper Security. They are probably still best known as a maker of password management software. They branched out earlier this year and created a product called Keeper Secrets Manager. So the password manager tool stores credentials for people. The Secrets Manager tool stores infrastructure-related credentials like API keys and database keys, server keys, etc. Today, they launched a project called Keeper Connections Manager. And basically what this does is give you a zero trust, zero knowledge way to connect to a remote device. You don't have to use it in conjunction with these other credential management tools, but if you do, the person who is doing the connecting and the person who is being connected to doesn't have to know what the password is, the credentials are. That's all kind of kept encrypted end to end inside the Keeper vault, basically. And the other thing that's sort of significant is that there is, in this Connection Manager product, there is neither client software involved on one end or agent software involved on the other end. So there are a number of different scenarios in which you can use the product. This is an alternative, a secure alternative to RDP for any managed service providers out there who have clients still using RDP to remote into devices. This is an alternative to VPN. If you have performance issues with VPN that make that hard to use, this is something that you can use. But it is also an alternative to remote access software from the companies that make RMM tools and PSA tools, and companies that just specialize in remote access solutions. If you are concerned about holes and tech debt in some of these products, and we have seen, some of the big names out there get hit because of problems with their agent software or problems with their remote access software in the past, here's a tool that doesn't require you to put client software of any kind on a technician's desktop, so there's no way for that to get compromised. Doesn't require you to put an agent on the endpoint and upload that at the beginning of remote access sessions, so there's nothing that can get get compromised on that side. It's 100% browser based all the way around. And like I said, it's, zero trust in the sense that there's MFA involved and least privilege access and role-based access controls, but zero knowledge too, and that nobody actually has to see or share credentials to make this connection and execute either an RDP VPN session or a remote access session. So a number of different potentially interesting use cases for MSPs out there, Eric, but it's also just sort of an interesting sign of the times that Keeper sees a potential market for this among MSPs who are maybe a little bit concerned about how safe are the tools from these big name vendors that they've been relying on going forward based on some of the threat activity that we've seen out there.
Yeah, Rich, a couple thoughts. First one is, wow, this is like from the future, right? Agentless, I don't have to know passwords. I don't have to install anything on my devices to participate. It's wild. And the other thing that I think, I'm not going to tiptoe around it. I mean, I'm just going to lay it out there, and that is supply chain risk, right? I mean, it directly addresses some of that concern that you're sharing about MSPs and their upstream supply chain platforms and relationships they're having. As we know, we've covered on this program before some of these supply chain attacks from some of the, most crucial vendors for MSPs that are being used to deliver services to their clients. So it's a very unique and interesting solution. And I got to say, Rich, like we were talking before we went live, kind of surprised me, came out of nowhere. So this has been kind of maybe a little bit of a skunkworks, stealth project that Keeper just introduced. I've not heard or seen of anything quite like this yet. So I wonder, is this going to start or maybe accelerate a movement or migration from other vendors to deliver these types of secure access control solutions as well? I mean, so it's very, very timely, very, very interesting and unique. And as you mentioned, news just released today. So how do partners learn more about Keeper and where can they see the product or a demo? Do you have some of that information to share?
Well, I mean, there's plenty of information about the product up on the Keeper security website. I believe it's keeper.com. I don't have the URL top of mind, but that would be the place to go to take a peek at this. And also kind of, the password manager, the secrets manager tools are obviously up on their website as well. And, I should say, so Keeper was just really in password management up until very recently. The Secrets Manager tool came out in January. So here we are at the very beginning of May, and now another product comes out. They didn't want to talk about it, which doesn't surprise me, but they've apparently got other products on the roadmap. So basically, they're moving beyond password management into privileged access management. And there is, they say, a very ambitious roadmap up ahead in terms of where they go from here. You won't find out anything about those forthcoming products on their website. But if you're curious to know more about how this thing works, you can find information about Keeper Connection Manager on their website.
Yeah, I think you positioned it perfectly when you started talking about the story. Is developed by a security company, right? Rather than vendors that have catered to MSPs and now are adding security features and functionalities to their platforms and services solutions. This is kind of from a security minded company from the get-go. So I think that adds some value.
Very interesting stuff. And if you are an MSP out there who deploys the product and it prevents one of your customers from being compromised, you'll probably be pretty grateful to Keeper for providing that technology. And with that awkward ham-handed transition, Eric, it's time for us to talk about your tip of the week.
Yes, Rich. Let me see if I can recover. Tip of the week is to make a concerted, deliberate effort to be thankful. Thank your staff. Thank your clients. Thank your strategic vendor partners. Let them know that you appreciate them. You know, Rich, we've been talking a lot uh, recently here in 2022 and maybe a little bit beyond about this, phenomenon that we're seeing, the great resignation, fill in the blank of the quotes, some of the air quotes I'm making, those of you that, are listening to the podcast only. But we're also, seeing this great resignation, this, we've talked about how staff are being poached and are leaving companies. And sometimes it's not only for, a bigger paycheck, but it's also from perhaps maybe a feeling of lack of appreciation, right? Staff don't leave companies, they leave their leadership, they leave their managers, they leave their direct reports. We've seen that, somebody comes in and now all of a sudden, it's different and staff don't feel the same way. And so this is all about appreciating. And especially now after we've been through all of this, tumultuous last couple of years with COVID and asking our teams to, go the extra mile and maybe not be as mindful as we would have liked to have been. And with clients as well, let them know you appreciate them in every interaction. I'm trying to live this myself in conversations that I'm having with clients, and of course, when you have good client relationships, they become friendly and friendlier. And I have clients that I feel like they're my friends. So having an intentionality about letting them know, hey, I just want to take a moment and let you know, Rich, I really appreciate our relationship, our friendship, and us being able at least once a week to get together for a few moments and share some time together on the 5-minute roundup. And I really appreciate it when we get to see each other at events when we're both traveling together, right? That's really awesome. And I really cherish that. That's heartfelt, right? And when you can share that with your staff, with your clients, and with your strategic vendor partners, it creates healthier relationships, healthy, intercompany dynamics and team morale and things like that. It's just goodness all around. So I just wanted to take a moment this week and share, hey, let's be mindful. This month, everybody, just, every interaction you have, say thanks and let folks know that you appreciate them.
And you know what, Eric? It's good business advice. It's also just kind of good life advice, isn't it? I mean, it's very easy in both a business context or a personal context to kind of take it as a given almost that, oh, well, of course I appreciate you and, and the work that we do together and our relationship and so on. But you know what? People don't know if you don't say it. And so, yeah, I know, particularly as a manager, I really try to lean hard on the side of expressing gratitude too much as opposed to not enough. So,
Mm.
if it feels a little bit excessive or awkward sometimes, that's probably okay, as opposed to not saying it and assuming that folks on the team kind of understand that, I think you're a superstar. People should know, when they're doing good work. So that's great advice, and great advice in terms of customers as well. Same thing. Grab those opportunities where they present themselves regularly to let customers know, I really appreciate the business that we do together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know, you know, sometimes, someone just saying that to me like changes my whole day, right? Because, we're all human beings. We don't hear it that often. It's kind of like, I remember when we used to send, handwritten thank you cards to folks. Now it's just an email. It's a little bit less personal, right? So just hearing someone say that, because I know the impact it has on me. And I'm like, wow, that made me feel good, and it changes your perception and it brightens your day. And you reflect that, afterwards with others, right? I reflect that goodness. I feel good. I'm gonna share it.
Okay, well, great advice. I hope folks in the audience follow it. It leaves us with time for just one more story this week. And, Eric, as we are recording this, we are just one day away from World Password Day. But it turns out there are a lot of momentous occasions happening this week, as I recently discovered. Did you know that Monday, May 2nd, was International Harry Potter Day? Which is celebrated on May 2nd because that is the date, apparently, of the Battle of Hogwarts.
Mm.
And so in 2012, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom declared May 2nd International Harry Potter Day. It is also on May 3rd this week. It was, and this is one that snuck up on me, National Two Different Colored Shoes Day. Yes, there is such a thing as National Two Different Colored Shoes Day. It was created by a woman named Arlene Kaiser, who is a professional public speaker and a member of the Screen Actors Guild. And she declared May 3rd Two Different Colored Shoes Days to, quote, recognize and celebrate the uniqueness and diversity of humanity. And what better way to do that than to wear two different colored shoes, apparently. But you know what? It turns out, Eric, May 3rd was not only National Two Different Colored Shoes Day, but it was also National Raspberry Popover Day, National Chocolate Custard Day, National Textile Day, Public Radio Day, National Lumpy Rug Day. After we're done recording, Eric, I'm going to go look up my birthday and see what 20 different weird things are celebrated on that particular day, too.
Well, Rich, I will take this opportunity to wish you, to say to you, may the 4th be with you, because today is Star Wars Day, right? The 4th of May. So, yes, we are chock full of celebratory days. And tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo. So, and that's just 1 week in May. Just 1 week in May.
Well, thanks for reminding me, Eric. May the 4th be with you as well, and with everybody in our audience. That is all the time we've got this week on the show. We'll be back again next week with another episode for you. You know what? We are both a video and a podcast these days. So if you are watching the video, but you also listen to podcasts, you will find us wherever you find your favorite podcasts. We're on Stitcher and Apple and Google and Audible and Spotify. You name it, everywhere you get podcasts, you can get the 5-minute roundup as well. And we would appreciate it if you subscribe, but also rate and review, which will make it easier for other people to find the show. If you are listening now, but you want to check out the video, a thing to do is go to YouTube, look for the ChannelPro Network channel there. Another opportunity for you to subscribe. If you click the little bell icon, you'll even get notified when the new episodes go up. You can read more about Keeper Security's Connection Manager product, also get great news and information, advice for running your business more effectively at ChannelProNetwork.com. And please visit every day. We've got amazing new content for you going up there every day. To learn more about Eric and the work he does with his clients, you need to visit ErickSimpson.com. That is ERICK Simpson.com. Once again, folks, we thank you for joining us. We're going to see you again in a week. Until then, please enjoy the rest of your week. Eric and I are enjoying the rest of your week already.